I was like, he should have murked both of them.
He should have. That's what I'm thinking. Like, just give me both of them. Like, it doesn't make it worse if you give me both of them.
Yeah.
Going back to what's the name of them dying, the twins was Ron's older brother, wasn't it?
Yeah. All them Weasley.
Yeah, the Weasley, that was one of his. That was the one that was getting married. What? No.
That was one that was older than him.
The older him. Yeah, the older one was.
Yeah, and with them, the Weasleys are pretty much the black people of the universe, pretty much, because they family really black. They got all the hand-me-downs. They poor and black too. Like they all, but they be happy as I don't know what. The mom, Weasley mom, really black. Like she was like when Beatrice tried to kill Jenny, she was like, man, she turned up.
She like, bro,
she turned up.
Ain't happening.
She was like.
Nah, she turned up on Beatrice, man. But I really wanted Neville to kill her. But the whole series though, I knew, of course, Deathly Hallows Part 1 is pretty much, Infinity War.
Yeah, that's
and people started dying because they losing that movie for sure. But people started dying, and when people just started dying, they just didn't stop. It's just like every other scene, somebody was
dying. Baltimore knew that I gotta get these folk up out of here.
I mean, everybody can't live
because y'all try to reason with us. Yeah. I ain't reasoning with y'all. Y'all getting out of here. We coming straight with the killing spell.
And when Snape showed up to the dinner late with Voldemort, and he just had the teacher just dangling there, like, and she was the professor.
I looked up. I literally picture the screen being right here. Picture the screen being right here. I was like.
And she had been tortured for days, and he was just like, she was just dangling.
Then he said,
it was like a Sunday dinner.
Yeah, and when he just murked her like that, I said,
he said, what's the spell name again?
Shit. Now I'm messing up. Avada Kedavra.
He said, and she fell, and he was like, dinner. I was like,
yeah,
right.
That's what I was saying. That's why I was like, the thing about Snape's death was so horrific to me was because the way in which he let him suffer. It almost felt like
he knew.
Yeah, he did. Voldemort.
It's like
he had to know that Snape was doing it.
I think Voldemort was smarter than what he kind of came off as.
Yeah.
He knew that
he was the smartest one.
I think he always knew that Snape was playing both sides.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he always knew that he can trust Snape to an extent, but he knew that he turned to Dumbledore. And
you can tell because the way he killed Snape was different than the way he killed everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, he was just murking motherfuckers like left and right.
He was pretty much like, you served your purpose because even though you were doing these things, you still kept the boy close enough to me for me to get to him.
Right.
And because you had to play both sides.
He also knew that this will still hurt Harry just a little bit, more. You know what I mean? Like, just
because
not like just
it's like foreshadowing of knowing you're gonna tell him what he needs to know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That I know, which is what I know, that we got to kill each other. One of us got to kill the other.
But
now I don't think he knew that it was a Horcrux in him, but he knew that pretty much like, you're gonna bring the boy to me, and so I'm gonna let you and you're gonna give him his last memory, which is something I already.
What I don't get is how did they not see this in Voldemort early on in life? Because he in every flashback they showed him, I was like, he looked like
I was gonna say that I was gonna be like, the real criminal in this movie is the dude that explained to him what the Horcruxes were. That's him.
Oh yeah.
If he obviously is coming to you because he's figured out most of it, but he doesn't know exactly how to do it.
Right. But the thing is, though, he is the villain, but at the same time, he was gonna find out one way or the other.
True. It just wasn't gonna be from me.
Right, yeah. I mean, you just helped him. You helped him a couple steps before he would have been able to do it.
Before he was
gonna get into that restricted section and find out.
But maybe he doesn't do it in 7. Maybe he does it in 1, like most of the people that did it. He said, you know what? I'm gonna make sure.
But he said he didn't tell him that though. He didn't tell him. He said, it's when one.
Well, he asked the question. He said, "What if they want?" But I thought he said, "What if you wanted to do it like split like into?" I thought he asked him a question with a number.
I'm saying he said he asked what was a Horcrux.
Yes.
And the teacher told him that it's when one splits their own soul, but they have to kill someone.
But I'm sure you know. That.
Yeah, but then Tom Riddle said, "Well, what if somebody wanted to split into 7?" He was like, 7?
That's a lot of kills. That's a lot.
So he really. like Baltimore was gonna find out the definition to a Horcrux regardless. But it's just
but because even the professor said he told him what definition was. He said, but I'm sure you know that. So what is it that you're really asking?
Yeah. Well, he's like, what if he wants to split into 7? I'm like, 7? Bro,
I mean, you got to.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
That's a real specific number.
I was gonna say that. Like, I don't think they explained why he picked 7.
That's a real specific number. I mean, it's just the whole, 7, yeah, it's a lot of biblical references. Like, I mean, Harry himself is a Jesus-like figure, you know. So,
yeah, I know. I agree with that. And I mean, you know, the guy made the earth, and he rested on 7 days.
Yeah,
so I get that part. I mean, wait,
I mean, 7 deadly sins, all that stuff ties into it. So it'll be.
He showed picked 7 though, and then this food and gave him Chico.
And then,
I mean, he didn't tell him how. He just said he did. He gave him the definition, you know. He went on to figure out how to do it. Though.
And Dumbledore knew he was going. Dumbledore.
That's what I want to see too. I want to see the process of him
in which he made the
Horcrux.
However you do it, the Horcrux. They should have gave us that too.
Yeah,
but I seen one thing that said that they shot the scenes, but they said it was so like not gruesome, but it was so grotesque that they took it out the movies.
Yeah, that's why I said people want like prequel movies of, like I said, the first, you know, because they kept saying, you know, especially in Order of Phoenix, they're like disappearances are happening like the first time, or this reminding us of the first time. I'm like, no, I want to see that. I want to see what's happening.
See what the first war is. Like, I definitely want to see because
you gotta get
if the first because clearly the first war was way worse than the second one.
Well, like I said, I want to see, and that's why I you know, people don't really like or not really vibing all the way with Fantastic Beasts because.
So, I was going to ask you, it's a prequel to Harry Potter?
Not yes and no.
But they got something like
it's in the world,
right?
But it takes place like 70 years before him.
Okay, so, but you got some of the guys or people that are in
50 years
one is in the other,
Dumbledore's
right?
in. Dumbledore's in. He's played by Jude Law, young Dumbledore. They play you remember the Sherlock Holmes movies? They play Watson.
Mm-hmm.
And he was in Captain Marvel. He was the what's name villain in Captain Marvel. But yeah,
he ain't Pandemic Peter Knight.
You say what?
I said he ain't Pandemic Peter Knight. He play our Peter.
Nah. But yeah, so Jude Law plays a young Dumbledore. Which Dumbledore is like, I don't know, like 150 it seems. He might
at that point. They say he died at 100, and they said that's why they said, and then they said Baltimore died early at the age of 71 after doing all that.
Yeah, I was gonna say 71. Like that ain't like, early.
I'm saying, but like I guess in their thing it was, but they was like he did all that. Get some of that, Rich. It seems like they aged slower. Yeah,
you know?
For whatever.
But Dumbledore, of course, was prolonging his life anyway.
Because he was dying of what's the name? Because they talked about that he was dying of
the disease.
It was the curse.
The curse, yeah.
Yeah.
But like I said, Baltimore did a good job with. You had to sacrifice a lot to get them Horcruxes.
He did because they said it like you had to commit. You had to kill somebody first, right?
For what?
The Horcrux. They said it like I think I.
Well, yeah. The split. I'm talking about to find them. He made sure people had to go through it to find them Horcruxes.
It was so crazy. Like when you watch the movie, what's the girl name you say you like, Mike? Yeah. That she's trying to tell Harry something, but because he's so hard, he think he knows. He's trying to go find. She's like, nobody has seen Ravencross's tiara that is alive. We gotta talk to somebody who's dead.
Like that's why I love it because she was in Ravenclaw, which is probably my favorite group outside of Slytherin.
And you think she know?
Yeah, she wouldn't. And like she's the craziest person in this building, probably. Like, yes, she would have conversations with the dead the same way you do, Harry. Like with everybody else. Like I would be talking to them too. Like so, of course she can talk to her, but
it was Hufflepuff's trophy, wasn't it?
What you mean?
The Horcruxes what's the name? Trophy. When they was in the little when what's the name betrayed him when they went there, little short, what's the name? Magellan.
Peter Pettigrew?
Not Magellan. Not Magellan. I forgot the dude's name. When he found the next, he went to Hufflepuff and he found that Horcrux. That's the one Hermione and what's the name destroyed. The one
you talking about
Ron destroyed.
Which one was that?
That was the one that he found in Hufflepuff.
Was the
cup?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of, the cup.
The Quidditch cup, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was it a Quidditch cup?
Was it the Quidditch cup? I can't remember if it was a Quidditch cup or not, but it seemed like it was something like that.
Yeah, and then that was the one I remember he killed down, and then what's name? He was like the little short dude. He's like, I said I was get you down. I said I was gonna get you out. I said I was gonna get you down.
Yeah,
I hate that coming to Goblin.
Yeah. He would have to see me too. That's why he got what he deserved in that movie.
But that's why nobody trust Goblin because they all like that. They all like that.
But finding out the whole cruxes and everything, that was one of the things I really did enjoy about
the whole journey of finding them.
Yeah, the journey of finding them was really good, and I like how the necklace turned them.
Paul George like he got smacked in the face to anybody touch him.
Yeah, I like how the necklace really turned them, let them see evil or see like Ron really was pissed.
Yeah, it was dark magic. It had that energy to it. You know,
he was so pissed.
Yeah, I'm like,
I was like, why y'all keep wearing this, bro?
That's the thing I was trying to figure out. I didn't understand that at all.
Now my best friend dated my best friend dated my little sister, and I think he wants her money too. So now
like I said, I've always argued, which people, some people disagree with. I always argued that Harry and Hermione worked way better than Ron.
I was gonna say that. I wonder what, but he did get hit. I was gonna say
JK didn't want to do the whole. She didn't want to do the whole cliche thing where the hero ends up with the the best friend and all that. Like,
so I'm cliche. Best friend, little sister.
But even as close as they were, though, like you could see, like I was like, you should like I understand you don't want to do it a certain way. Yeah, and I'm like, the way I wrote the story, it regardless of what you started out with, the way the story goes, it looks better. I mean, I don't say it looks better, like not from the cliche of the hero. It just looked better because their chemistry seemed to be a lot better.
Yeah.
You forced Ron and Hermione to be together because you didn't want her and Harry to be together.
Bro, they was both scared to talk to each other and tell each other both what they feel. And if he didn't get hurt, and be in the infirmary and say her name,
but they also, which I love that they do this. All three of them represent the other houses with their personalities, even though they all end up in Gryffindor. Ron is really Hufflepuff.
Yeah, he really
and
is.
Hermione is really Ravenclaw. And of course, with his connection to Slytherin, Harry is really, really Slytherin because of the connection to Voldemort, even though Harry himself would be Gryffindor,
And Mike, as you say that, when you think about, because I think when you see that, like, I think I looked at the thing they said based on the book, like his son gets put into Slytherin.
Yeah.
But which means it's probably because it's still a little bit of Baltimore in there somewhere, I'm sure. But the interesting thing is, like, once you look back, once you see the whole series and then you go back, you find the hidden clues. The reason why the hat was split was because Baltimore was in Harry. So the hat was confused because he was like, I don't know what you need to do. Because
the same as the one, it felt Baltimore's presence.
That's why it chose him.
Yeah, but
because Harry it's the same one.
Harry himself would have been Gryffindor like his parents.
Yeah.
He would have been Gryffindor, but the split between Harry and Voldemort, it was split between Gryffindor and Slytherin.
And the crazy thing about it is, but Harry also, like, this sounds very stupid, but it's going to make perfect sense. Harry wouldn't have beat Voldemort without having him in him. That enhanced some of the things, like
he was able to see him. He was able to predict where he was at.
He learned him. He was able to learn him without having to be with him.
Yeah, whenever he was going in
blind, it would have been.
He had the spidey senses. He had the spidey sense whenever he felt the Horcruxes near or something. Baltimore.
And then you wouldn't have been able to get in the Chamber of Secrets had he not had him in there because you ain't had nobody to talk to Snake.
Yeah.
It's crazy though. He could talk to Snake, yet the snake, the big snake in the Chamber of Secrets, and Voldemort's pet act like they ain't care about nothing he was saying.
Oh, you talking about Harry?
Yeah.
Oh, because I already sick him on to kill him. I don't care if he can.
Yeah, they don't care about nothing you saying. Like the two snakes that you see in the series don't work with the dude that can talk to snakes.
Oh, and what I don't like is the Hogwarts got so many motherfucking hidden ass places for people to be there for thousands of years, like
for people to not, for you to supposed to be a safe place for people and their kids. They built on a factory of death. And the other thing that made me mad was that they made talking to snakes for two people. However, Ron could imitate him talking to snakes to make the sound and get to the chamber of secrets. I was like, man, if you don't cut this TV off.
He said Harry tossing his sleep, which I can believe.
Yeah,
I can believe that.
Yeah, true. But that don't mean you good enough to be in here imitating it.
I would have definitely asked Harry to tell me what to say to open up the thing.
Yeah, me too. Like, Like
that would have been a previous conversation. Like, hey, when we get there,
I'm sitting here like, and also can't nobody else in the world talk to snakes, and yet you're here imitating somebody that can talk to a snake.
And what I don't get to is since they've been in the Chamber of Secrets, ain't nobody else went back down there.
Nope.
Like Harry ain't told them to go back down there, like excavate some shit, open some shit up, so that people can see this big ass snake down there as proof, nigga. Like, ain't nobody did that.
Nope, because
ain't nobody been down there. It also was cool. Go ahead, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I said nobody wanted to believe it's true. Also, was that what's the name when he broke out the first snake in the first movie? That was just a regular snake.
What snake?
You remember when Harry broke out what's the name in the first movie in Sorcerer's Stone?
No, that wasn't the guinea. I don't think that wasn't the guinea.
No, I said that was just a regular snake one.
Yeah, it was just a regular snake.
Well, I wouldn't call it a regular snake, but
it was a python too, but yeah.
But it was just a snake as in it wasn't trying to kill. It wasn't trying to kill.
It was just a hint that snakes are important.
Yeah,
snakes will be important later on, but
it was interesting that what was I gonna tell y'all? I think basically I can't remember what I was gonna tell y'all, but basically so if Baltimore would have just stayed at the crib, none of this happened. If Baltimore would have just stayed at the crib that day, none of this happened. He wins.
You said Baltimore would stay at the crib?
Yeah, he wins.
Pretty much?
Yeah.
Like, maybe Harry grows and be strong, but he doesn't have the extra boost and energy that he needs to be able to beat you. Well, let me rephrase it. Whether or not it gave him any power, any extra boost, it gave him a way into the mind of the dude that's trying to kill him.
And it stopped, literally, he was gone for 12 years. Or 14 years because of that.
Yeah.
That nigga, he would have been around then. He would have been around.
It's crazy that, because I mean, love is a strong thing, but I didn't know it the way it not only did it rebound and protect Harry, it destroyed Baltimore while he still has Horcruxes in here. So he alive without being alive, which is the craziest thing ever conceived to put on pen and paper and in a movie.
It's really kind of stupid, honestly.
I blew your body up, but you're gonna come back in the head of a dude, and then it was the freakiest thing I've ever seen in my life.
They kept trying so many ways for Baltimore to come back, for him to be able to be back human to where, of course, when they finally figure out how to do it.
I'm it took out that long. That's why I understand if I was Baltimore, I'd be pissed off too. It took out that long to figure that out.
Right.
But y'all supposed to be somebody.
Yeah. But I mean, we got to think about it. All his followers kind of disappeared.
Oh, they went to kick it once when they thought he was dead.
So it was really just he only had a handful of people believing he was gonna come back, and then of course he got Pettigrew to believe he was coming back. So
all them folks, all them folks up. Them folks said we're gonna go ahead and put y'all in the Azkaban, so we ain't got to deal with it.
For killing my boy said he's just like yeah.
Wait.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing.
Yeah. Now I'm forgetting what happened to Pettigrew. Shit.
Nothing.
He
got away.
He got away again?
Yeah, I don't remember him dying at all.
The crazy thing about it is, though,
I don't think so either.
I think he got away. That's what I was gonna say. But
that's some rat ass shit right there.
The other thing was so you look at it and you say, okay, look. So yeah, it is crazy that Pettigrew, he did all that, he still ain't died. But
you know what I'm saying? He ain't died?
Nah, I don't
he did not.
I don't remember.
One of the things though that stood out to me the most, I gotta get off here if I'm gonna go to sleep. Was at Dumbledore's funeral?
Yeah.
How everybody showed up, and everything, they lit their wands and everything else. Baltimore came to the funeral. Not as if you remember in that scene, he's in the clouds in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
And I took that as although he sent them to kill Dumbledore, that was still Dumbledore. And he attended the funeral figuratively. You know what I mean? I was like,
that's proof.
It's so well, I ain't looking at it as proof. I looked at it as mourning. That's the one guy, regardless of what you did, that actually believed in you in any way, shape, or form.
Somebody that he respected.
Yeah, and that although you killed him, basically, within a nutshell, you attended the funeral in respect to the dude regardless. And I saw it because when they lit the things up and they went out, his face disappeared out the clouds. And I was just like, and it was also to make sure, of course, that he did, but it's also in the sense that he still showed up to the funeral.
Right.
Which I thought was crazy.
Oh, also too. I know we kind of skipped over Fantastic Beasts, but the guy that Voldemort goes to figure out who has the wand.
He's in the Fantastic Beasts too. Yeah,
he's the main villain in Fantastic Beasts. He's Grindelwald.
Yeah,
he's pretty much magical healer, pretty much.
So, yeah, I remember watching
it takes place around the same time. It takes place around the same time as World War II.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember watching a breakdown, because sometimes I'll watch a breakdown of movies to see if I want to watch it or if you're gonna just kind of tell me how to loop in. Especially if I don't think they're good. And so I remember saying it's Grindelwald, right?
Grindelwald, yeah.
Yeah, I remember him being in there too. But like overall though, I do think that, I mean, you always better find some ways that could have been better and some things that you would have wished you would have got. But when you're watching the movie, you don't really realize the things that you wish you got until you get through the end. And so like you see the biggest jumps are like the Hermione part and the Neville part. Those things I'm like, especially in the last movie, you could just went on and gave me that. But
Hermione, what about Hermione?
What I'm saying, her and Harry, like you could have just, instead of trying to go, you were so against trying to do the cliche thing that you forced two people together that even if you don't believe their character, they didn't seem to have the on-screen chemistry that you would have thought they would have had for them to be in that role. Because I believe that Jenny liked Harry. Like I could believe it even if it's anything else, but it also seemed that him and Hermione also as well. So like, you know, it was, but overall, like, I mean, as you're thinking about it, like
it was definitely opposite track.
Yeah. From where they started in the Sorcerer's Stone to where they got to the Deathly Hallows, I think they did pretty good to get across those books like that. You know, the only other thing that I would have liked to see was that you really didn't see any fight, like any real, I mean, you get the little bit in, I guess it's not Prisoner of Azkaban, I don't think. Which the one the series died in?
Order of Phoenix.
Order of Phoenix.
So you get a little bit of that at the end. You get that fight scene, you get the Dumbledore scene, you get the Deathly Hallows where they pretty much fight the entire last movie. Yeah, and you tried to say, well, I gave you 2 hours of fighting. Yeah. So that kind of supplement what I didn't give you in the other 7 movies. I'm like, no, it's not. Like Tom Riddle or Voldemort rather, and Harry are in the Chamber of Secrets and they do not fight.
Right.
They just talk.
Like, you know, like the Goblet of Fire, they do not fight.
Yeah. The ghost
like, yeah, they don't fight.
Voldemort fights. Ain't much of a fight because Voldemort just wiping the floor with Harry. So
everybody, and so I'm like, y'all, like you're not giving. That's why I was.
I think that's kind of the point though, because they are kids. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, you know, it's a bunch of grown people jumping some little kids. So it's not going to be much.
And they follow the rules. You know, they tell them like, don't use these. First of all, this is another thing I figured out that I didn't understand. This is why these adults were trash in this movie. There are 3 spells that you are not to do, period. And we're going to teach them to you.
And we're going to teach them to you. Yep.
And we're going to trust kids to not do them.
They weren't supposed to teach them to them. You know, that was what's the name?
That was what's called. Which he crazy too, because you still arm them with things that they ain't supposed to have. They don't help Baltimore. But that's what he wanted.
That's what
he wanted that, remember?
Yeah, but that ain't helping Baltimore.
I mean, no.
Because it don't take but one person to have good aim.
Oh, I'll say, yeah, but at the same time, you know, he was trying, you see, Baltimore's trying to turn everybody to his side.
Yes.
So he wanted them to know that. But when they got to the last movie and Neville was like, they was practicing the Cruciatus Curse on first years, I said, oh, y'all
desperate.
They 10 years old and y'all practicing torturing spells on 10-year-olds? Like,
yeah, like bro, they so desperate.
Hey, like, man, I done seen 3 lifetimes by that time. I don't care.
Like, they are so desperate. They don't know what to do. Baltimore got them so shook. Anybody got a wand, they'll teach you how to shoot.
No, I'm saying no. I'm talking about, because you remember when Snape and them took over the school and they was the Death Eaters and stuff was at the school with Snape. And I'm saying when they were teaching the kids, they was having them practice the Cruciatus Curse on first years. I was like, y'all torturing little kids like that? Y'all evil.
Yep.
So, but I'm gonna tell you this though, like, what's the face name? Miss First Lady.
Beatrix or Dolores?
No. Dolores. Let me tell you something. I understand the other kid. I wouldn't have had to go to detention for one time either.
You say what?
I said, I understand the other kids too with hair. I wouldn't have to go to detention but one time either.
Yeah. But that would mess me up when in the Deathly Hallows when they had to get the necklace up off her, and they had the what's the name? They was
Centaurs.
No, when they drunk the what's the name and they changed, so they was looking like man, why I can't think of the name of that.
They were looking at I know what
but I'm saying when they had to try to get the thing up off Dolores, and they right there, and Harry spoiled it, and he talks shit just because he see Dolores doing something. He like, I can't tell lies or whatever, or you're lying, Dolores.
He gotta say it like, and he can't wait until at least they get the necklace before you throw it in her face. You gotta throw it in her face before you get it.
Yeah, I'm like, Harry can't.
And let me tell you something. So Dolores, even though she was irritated, she had some heat.
She did. No,
she was like, she would have got you up out of there too.
Oh yeah, she was scared. She was scared.
But that's what Voldemort's whole thing was. There's no such thing as good and evil. It's just power. So his thing is there's no such thing as good and evil. So to him, he's not evil. Of course, no villain think they're evil, but he's not evil. You know, it's just that people will respond to power. So and which they did, but like Harry said, you don't have any. You alone. You don't really have any real friends or family because everybody that's working for you is just
it's not respect. It's
fear. That's not the same thing. You getting fear mixed up with respect, and that's not the same thing.
Folks loved Harry enough to where they said, "I'll die for you." I don't. Hey. At that point,
when what's the name? They had to keep getting on Harry though because they were like, Harry's like, "Hey, I'm gonna do this alone." He's like, when Ron was like, "You think we doing this for you?" Which is like a crazy realization because you would think like, "Oh, we're going to battle for Harry." Like, no, we ain't doing this for you. Like, you part of it, but we're doing this.
Trying to die.
Yeah, we're trying to save our whole world,
bro. To die.
Because if Voldemort win, then
we all did.
It's about to be right. It's about to be crazy in here. Like, so
if we don't turn to his side, he gonna kill us. So
he Ron, like, bro, like they lost family, they lost all their friends. They lost everything. You think we out here trying to do it just to save you?
Yeah. That's the other thing. Like, Ron made a very good point. He was like, "Dog, you made this all about you. We lost people too."
Right. And we understand you're the chosen one, but
yeah, we don't care about that. Like, because I don't mean it in Ron ain't said it, but it was the truth. Like, and you don't mean it in that way or anything like that. But like, Harry never knew his parents.
Right. Yeah.
So the love you have for your parents is based on just the fact that you know.
I was like, Harry, knock his ass. When he said that, I was like, go ahead and knock him out real quick, bro. Go ahead and knock him out.
So you don't want to challenge the fact of his parents, but you like in a sense you're like, well, he didn't grow up with them, but there's still a story about. But Ron got a point too. My parents are still here, and my parents take care of you.
Yeah.
My parents should be your parents.
I get Ron's point, but Harry, like, nigga, at least you was able to grow up with yours, nigga. Like,
true.
Voldemort took mine.
And then, like I said, Harry also was like, bro, I didn't choose for them to die.
Yeah, I ain't asked to be the chosen one.
That's what I love about Harry. He was always like, bro, I wasn't about this life, but since I gotta be about this life, I'm gonna be about
this life.
I ain't want to, but I'm here now, so shit, Yeah.
But Malfoy just like, bro, he wasn't about that life. He just wanted to live. He just wanted the riches. He didn't want to do no dirt. He didn't want to do nothing. He didn't want to kill.
I mean, what's crazy is you can always tell that Malfoy was a little punk from the beginning. Yeah, but he really
after about when we got to about the third movie,
he really
started changing how he started getting.
He was real whining in. Like he was a real tough guy the first couple movies, and then like I said, by the time you got to the real nitty gritty. You started to realize, bro, like,
hey, bro, you gotta kill Dumbledore. Nobody else. You gotta kill him.
But I mean, Voldemort is definitely the type to punish somebody like that just because their dad didn't do a job right. Like now your kid got to do something. Like he know he ain't gonna be able to do it. Or I'm gonna kill all you. Or I'm gonna kill your whole family. Like
Dumbledore.
He'll turn on his whole. That's why people that's why they got up out of there at the end because the Voldemort turn on you quicker than anybody else.
After they figured out what he did to Snape, they were like, oh, okay.
Hold up, Snape dead? Hold up, Snape was your right hand. Snape dead?
He don't care. He don't care at all.
He don't care.
Yeah. I mean, but what's crazy to me though, we know how cold Snape is.
Took Snape
he still didn't try to fight Voldemort. They'll let you know how cold Snape was. He still was like, I gotta just accept this one.
He knew, but you see, Voldemort had to wound him first before he told what's name to kill him. Because if it was just straightforward, he probably would have.
That might slit his throat though without the wand. He was just
and
like,
he was just
without blinking.
talking to him. He said, "Ugh." I was like,
ooh. I said, you cold like that, bro?
What's the snake name again?
Severus.
No, the snake. The snake.
Oh, Nagini. Yeah,
like Nagini kill. I was like,
Nagini shows up in what's the name?
All you do is see through the window.
Snake, Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah, Snake back just going like this the whole time. She over there tearing his chest up. He just like
she in Fantastic Beasts. She's cursed. Like she does the transfiguration, like how what's the name of them do it, like Sirius, but she turns to the snake. But she's cursed that I think if she keeps doing it, or eventually she's gonna forever be a snake or something like that. So
and she did it many times, and she had to stay the snake.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what it was. I can't remember, but because the what's names ain't no books. The Fantastic Beasts ain't no books. They written by but the scripts and stuff are written by J.K. Rowling. So but they not as good as the Harry Potter books. But it's mostly because it's not the story that everybody want to see. No, everybody want to see the original.
We want to see prequels.
The starting of the Marauders and the Order of the Phoenix and how Voldemort kind of came to be. They don't want to. It's like when after the Avatar series, they came with Korra. It's like, nah, that ain't really what we really wanted to see. We really want to see adult Aang and Katara and them. We want to see the adult version. We ain't really care about the next Avatar yet. It's kind of like that. What it's be like. I didn't want you to go back that far.
Yeah,
like coming to the right. I want you to go to like I said when Voldemort was coming up, like how they did with Star Wars with the prequels. They show how Darth Vader became Darth Vader. It's like, yeah, that's what we want to see.
See Snape. Don't want to see. I mean, I'd rather see Snape back when he was younger and dealing with.
I was saying they want to see the organization of the Order of the Phoenix, the first one, and how they started, how the disappearances started to come, and how Voldemort pretty much came to power. They want to see those movies up until when Harry got his scar. Everybody want to see that. Yeah. They don't want to go back to see, Fantastic Beasts with Grindelwald and stuff because it's pretty much the same. Grindelwald is pretty much the same character as Voldemort. Because he has the elder one, he's pretty much the same character. It's just that his whole thing is he wants to go to war with the Muggle world, because apparently there was a great war with them and there was losses on both sides, and that's the reason why the wizarding community kind of hides itself. But he wants to go back to war with them because he's like, they can't do nothing with us. Like, with their guns and stuff, they can't do nothing with us. Like, so we should not be hiding from them. They should be hiding from us, and that's what he want to do. But of course, Dumbledore and them end up stopping that. But we don't know the second movie. She said she wanted to write 5 movies for that. So of course, we don't know the second one. So she gonna probably draw this out.
Dumbledore had to do what he had to do. But before we get out of here, what was the least favorite movie of you guys?
My least favorite is probably Half-Blood, probably. I'll say Half-Blood. I'm not as huge of a fan of the Deathly Hallows.
I was about to say that. I was like, Deathly Hallows Part 1. I was like, it's cool, but
I think I'm less of a fan of Part 2, even though that's the conclusion. I think I'm more of a fan of the first one just because they actually going and finding the Horcruxes. Yeah, it seemed like more of a.
But I could tell. But you could tell they was
wrapping up.
Yeah, you could tell they was wrapping up. You could tell they was wrapping up.
The Deathly Hallows, both of them pretty much. I'm not the hugest fan. That's a lot of people's, least too. Because the build up the same way as the Marvel movies, like the build up is sometimes better than the ending a lot of times. But the middle is, I think, was the sweet spot. The first couple, of course, were set up, but that middle section between 3 and 5 or 3, like that's where it kind of like hits like a sweet spot to me of like we learning stuff growing. Voldemort is starting and he's gaining power, and you see Harry and them growing up and learning new stuff. And there's a lot of friction there, but we ain't got to the point yet where it's all that war yet, And I think that's why the middle section is my favorite. But yeah, I'll probably say Half-Blood Prince is probably my least. Just because, like I said, even though you see him learning the spells or learning about Snape and stuff in that movie, it's not a lot happens in that movie that's relative to the movie. Yeah, I mean to the whole overarching plot of the series. So outside of Dumbledore being killed, That's it. That's what
So
I was telling
like
y'all.
for me, so actually when I said what I said earlier, what I was thinking of was Prisoner of Azkaban. When I said Had Blood Prince, I meant Prisoner of Azkaban.
Oh, that's one of your favorites?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I agree with you with the Had Blood Prince. I didn't superly love the Goblet of Fire. I
agree with that.
I like once we got to the parts that mattered toward the middle end, where it kind of like once you basically get to the point of, because what people don't even realize is that once they've killed dude and they get back, they got another 30 minutes left in this movie. Yep. You think that's in the movie? It's not. That's the part of the movie that I like, but that movie as a whole, I really didn't care for.
A lot of people had problems with Goblet of Fire. A lot of people had problems. They cut out so much.
Yeah, they did. Order of Phoenix was pretty good. There was still some. Those two movies both had. Those three movies actually had like very important information and moments. Yeah. But the three movies, to me, the way that they were shot, the pace, the actual movie, they weren't good. Like they stood out to me most so because they gave you information that needed to tie in till you get to the end. Yeah. But they could have been these movies 2 hours. They could have been one movie.
Which ones? Which three?
So I think that like the Had Blood Prince, the Goblet of Fire. I know the plots are different and different things go on, but what I'm saying is that the amount of good stuff to me, even in the Order of Phoenix, it's good. It is. But I also felt like the trend of those three movies, while they are the movies where you learn the most, the pace is a lot, to me, slower. And so what I was saying was that you really, if you would take the information that we needed to know from those three movies, you could have made one movie. Like,
I think Dolores by herself. Dolores and Beatrix make Order of the Phoenix by themselves. You know,
I agree with them because both of them are in that movie, and that's what makes it different. It's a little darker, and it's different. So I get that because Dolores gives you like the lady from like Matilda. She gives you that vibe of that person.
Y'all, you know too. You remember the aunt in Prisoner of Azkaban that he blew up, that was talking mess, and that he called her mom a bitch. That is the lady from Matilda. That's the what's her name, the principal.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it is her.
Okay, so
but yeah, the one
I think about it in that way. But you know, like I mean, they were good. Like I don't think that. Okay, so if you go in there like to me, like most people gonna say Prisoner of Azkaban is the best movie that they shot, and then I think that the first two to me are better movies than Goblet of Fire and Order of Phoenix. However, the information that you get out of Order of Phoenix and Goblet of Fire is more important than the more important outside of the fact of you finding out that Tom Riddle is Voldemort. Like the information that you get in those other two movies, to me, is better than the information that you get in the first two movies. But I think the first two movies are better than those two movies.
Oh, really?
And so and you know how it is, like with Infinity War and with Endgame. The last two movies are trying to get to a point, and so they're going to get to that point. But you get everything that you need in the first 6 movies. The last 2, you get the Deathly Hallows and you get Baltimore dying. But all the information that you need to know, you found out in the first 6 movies. Outside of like exactly what the Horcruxes are and how and that Harry is a Horcrux. Like, but you got like 4 or 5 things that are important. But overall, the first 2 movies, the first 3 movies are the best 3 movies, probably in the order of 3, 2, 1. And they're better than, to me, the next 3 movies, although the information in the next 3 movies is the most important information that you get in the series. And that's probably why it's done that way, because those movies weren't great, but they knew that because the information was so important that you were going to have to watch it all the way through, and you had to see the next one because you got something in that movie that you're like, oh, okay, like now we know here's a Horcrux, or now we know that, like I said, but like
I think it's similar to Phase 1 and Phase 2 in Marvel. Like the Phase 1 movies seemed more interesting, but the Phase 2 had more information in them.
Yes.
With the Infinity Stones and stuff, but we enjoyed Iron Man and Avengers better than pretty much every other movie in Phase 2 for the most part.
Yeah, because Iron Man 2 and 3 was.
Iron Man 2 was in Phase 1, and both Thor and Cap were in Phase 1 and the first Avengers.
Yeah, I'm saying Iron Man 2 and 3. Iron Man 2 and 3 was in Phase 2.
No, Iron Man 2 was in Phase 1. Iron Man 3 was in Phase 2. Because Iron Man 2 came out before Thor and Captain America came out. So the first two Iron Man came out before any other origin story came out. So
am I thinking? I might just be thinking 3.
Yeah, 3 is in Phase 2, and Avengers 2 is in Phase 2, of course. But more information with the Infinity Stones, all that. Thor 2, and outside of Cap, outside of Winter Soldier, and which is not much information that's actually learned in Winter Soldier in terms of the whole general universe. It kind of stands on its own as its own movie, away from the Infinity Stones, Infinity Saga. It ain't got nothing to do with that.
Really, Age of Ultron brought the minds.
I'm saying it brought a lot of information in Age of Ultron.
It brought
similar to the. But it wasn't better than the first Avengers.
It brought forth the Infinity. It brought forth.
I agree.
To me, I think the problem with the second half of the series, I want to say I don't know if he did Order of Things. I don't know, but I know
the directors changed. I think it was after. I was after the first two. I think it was that it changed. I think it changed in Prison of Azkaban.
Yeah, I know that. I'm talking about. I think after Order of Things. I can't remember if he did Order of Things or not, but the same director did the last 3 movies. So it wasn't no change of even his directing style. You see, in those last 3 movies, they almost look black and white.
All of them are dark. All of them are dark.
It's so dark. Like it's
very dark.
One of the dudes I seen they did a review and he was like, "Golly, add some color."
It's almost too dark. I understand you trying to show the dread of the world and it getting bad, but
it's like, bro, this is sad.
At least,
but
I love 3, 4, and 5 because they have a balance between dark and the bright coloring in Azkaban, Goblet of Fire, and Phoenix. They have a balance. Like
I was actually going to say, like if you look at the start of the series, it went bright to dark.
Yeah, I was saying the first 2 a little too bright. It's almost like. They got overhead lights.
Because those are kids' movies.
Those 2 were really kiddie.
They almost shot like Halloween Town. They almost shot like too bright. You know what I mean? Like Disney movie bright. Like
then
Twitches
it took a turn.
But the third one took a turn and it got dark in Azkaban a little bit with Sirius Black and stuff. And then from then on, Goblet of Fire and Order of Things, it had to balance though. It had these bright moments. But it had the dark moments too. But then after that,
when Half-Blood Prince came, it was just.
It was like, bro, we might well shoot this. This is like a noir film. We almost like shoot this in black and white, bro. Like it might well be like an old west. But like it was not bright at all until the very end, after Voldemort's dead, and when Harry and them break the it brightens up again.
Yeah.
At the end, which I'm like, I understand what you were trying to show, but man, this movie was damn near black and white. Outside of seeing the spells, outside of seeing the color that comes from the spells. Like you didn't see no color. Almost everything was in black. It was all desaturated. Like I said, I get the reasoning, but it wasn't fun to look at. You know, even if the reason was trying to show that this world is, is dread and dark and everybody is, down and out. I get that, but it was too dark for my liking. Like I said, the middle 3 had to balance. The first 2, like I said, just looked like they were Disney movies. The first 2 looked like they were Disney movies. So, and then it got darker in Azkaban when Harry said, "I'm gonna kill Sirius Black." I'm like, "Oh, this is a turn." You can't usually have a hero saying something like that. But I was like, "This man number 13. He talking about he gonna kill somebody." Harry slick kind of crazy on look.
He is though, but I
don't know if that's the vote. But what I do love about the last movies and Harry's change real quick, when you start to see he and Daniel Radcliffe played it so well. The turn of him kind of having similarities to Voldemort. Like when he would just like twitch and do stuff, I'd be like, you see it, and I was like, oh, you really taking on these mannerisms, and you looking like that character more. I really like how he kind of showed the connection more than because Voldemort but also never showed no connection to Harry, but Harry took on his traits. What
is also too though, but if you see though too, I think as he aged too, he was able to look a little rougher.
Yeah.
And so it played into the role of that.
But by the time they got to the last movie, they supposed to be, 17, 18, and they were actually like 22, 23. So, and Daniel Radcliffe started to grow beard hair real quick. So, it's hard for them to stay. That's why they had to start shooting the movies quick. Even though they tried to do it every other year. So they did years shoot, release, shoot, release, shoot, release. But by the last couple, they was like, y'all getting too old now. Y'all ain't looking like teenagers no more.
That's why at the end, when they were dropping their kids off, that's how they really look.
Yeah.
And
That is a good point.
When they said 19 years later, it's like, nah, nigga, this was last.
I think by the last three movies, all three of them was making $20 million a movie by the last three. So
if I've been in this company 5 years, I better be making some damn money.
That's why they were saying Hermione's character was like when she wanted to leave the movies after the fifth movie or something like that.
A lot of them wanted to leave after that. A lot of them wanted to leave.
I know they did, but then when you realize you ain't gonna make $20 million nowhere else.
Yeah, but at the same time, they realizing now the same thing that the original Star Wars characters realized. When you get typecast, is that it's hard to get.
It is hard to get something else. I agree with that.
Because people only see you as that, and what's that really had a hard time. Though.
But I'll take $90 million and I'll figure out something else.
You know what I'm saying? Ron has had that hard time, but he's been doing a lot of all stuff similar to your boy Cedric Diggory, Robert Pattinson. After the Twilight movies, he started doing small movies,
the film festival movies.
Yeah, and then he's kind of getting back up now, huh?
It ain't Batman. I'm thinking.
Yeah, he is Batman.
He's Batman now. Yeah, he's Batman now.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm saying, but he built his way up. But he did Tenet, which was Christopher Nolan film that did the Batman trilogy. Yeah. So you kind of get your way in, that way. So
directors always looking for you. But yeah, probably. Yeah.
You get in with a company. If you get in with a company and with a director, you gonna always have work.
Yeah, because
especially with Christopher Nolan, he always working with people. But he knew that, like I said, it was already a story that he had missed. He said he was taking a sick day, or with family, and Christopher Nolan's like, "You going to the Batman audition, aren't you? Like, you ain't gotta lie to me. Like, you ain't gotta lie to me." While they was getting ready to do Tenet, he was like, "You going to the Batman audition, aren't you? Like, you ain't got. I already know, bro." Like, me and one of us like this. I know, bro. Like, I already know. You ain't got a lot of me.
I made the Batmans.
Right. He was like, yeah.
You don't think they consulted with me a little bit when they were trying to figure out who was going to direct it?
Right. You know what I'm saying? So I know everything that's going on in Warner Bros., bro. I know everything. So, yeah, I know when the audition's taking place. But I think he's going to be a cold Batman, though. But he was good at Cedric Diggory. And that's the problem that I got a lot of people that have a problem with the Twilight. He's a good actor. He's a great actor in his own right. It's just that those movies were just trash. Those movies just trash. But good actors are in bad movies all the time.
Yeah.
So, but for it to be so early on in his career,
he had enough time to get past it.
Yeah. Like I said, he started doing indie films, showing that he can act, showing that he's a really good actor first. Then it's easy for you to get back into the big blockbusters when you already show that I can act. That the big blockbusters are not as hard to act in as those indie films. They don't take as much emotion and all that. So, like, when they get to these superhero characters, that acting ain't that. You probably got one or two scenes that's like, you got to bring it. But outside of that, most of it's just normal banter, normal going back and forth, normal, like, stuff that you ain't really got to bring it that hard in. So, I think he'll really kill it as Batman. So, but yeah. So,
yeah. I mean,
that's that.
Go ahead and get that. Yeah, I'll probably say Half-Blood Prince and probably Deathly Hallows, probably the least favorite. I mean, I can see what's the name too, because really that last 30, 45 minutes is what I really remember much
of what?
The Order of the Phoenix. That last is like the most memorable part to me, because with the big fight when they fight the Death Eaters and Sirius Black gets killed and everything like that whole dynamic, and then Dumbledore and Voldemort fight again. It's like Voldemort, this man, he fighting everybody else, and then
cold.
Yeah, he was cold with it. Even in the first movie when was it the first movie when he did the Quidditch and had to catch the what's the name? Was that the first movie or the second movie?
Which one did he have to catch what?
Harry. When he had when he joined the what's the name team?
Yeah, the Quidditch thing, that was in the first movie.
Yeah, that was in the first movie. And then they thought Snape was the one making the doing the curse, and it was what's name right next to him. I was like, bro, we already starting off with this nigga with the head. We already
It really showed how creative and how cold Baltimore was when he came back and tried to murk crowd back. That's why I say he was always about that smoke. Like he always wanted it. Like he always came back off real.
And then like I said, can't never trust a new teacher. Can't never trust a new teacher.
But that's why they always had to rule that.
Well, they said that Baltimore put a curse on their job. That's why nobody can have.
So you can only teach it for 1 year. That's why Snape never got it, because Dumbledore wasn't letting him get it. Yeah. You know, even though he wanted it. But you see, he got it, and
got him up out of there.
Yeah, he got him about it. So
very quickly.
Yeah, but like I said, all in all, it's just, and it aged well, because I was only able to go see the last one in theaters. That was when I was a freshman at Knox.
So yeah, it definitely aged well.
Yeah,
because like
replay that.
Still, I'm saying that was 10 years ago that the last one came out. So that I was able to see.
It aged very well.
So, replay value is very, very good.
Because I watched the Sam Raimi Spider-Man. Was it Spider-Man 1? I think I watched Spider-Man 2. Mm-hmm. The Spider-Man 2 is pretty good, because that's the one that got Doc Ock.
Yeah.
And I found myself like enjoying it, but it didn't age well.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the CGI and everything.
But I was saying, like, in the first couple Harry Potter movies was made at the same time that those first
but they aged well.
The CGI. Yeah, but the CGI with the Quidditch and stuff was rough. You know what I mean? Was
rough. But I think that because like a lot of this stuff is like pictures.
It looked just like the early Spider-Man CGI.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but as they went on, the CGI that they used, like
so much better. Like, seemed like it was ahead of some, because it aged very well.
Yeah,
they started to use, because you got to think about it, they have with them, the Lord of the Rings, they use similar CGI techniques. So as those movies were being shot, the technology grew. So whenever after you do all the dragons and shit in Lord of the Rings, it's easy to do a dragon in Harry Potter, like for 10 minutes. You know, it's not that hard. So with similar look to it. So
it definitely got.
But even like the CGI to me, the third movie, Prison Azkaban, that's why it's one of my favorites, because it took the CGI up to level. Because Buckbeak was like, I believe Buckbeak was really there. That thing, that big bird, or whatever the hell it is, hippogriff, that was it. Like, I thought he was really there. And Dobby in the third movie, like seeing Dobby, you can tell that he's CGI, but like him running around Harry's house, and then at the end of the movie when Harry hands him the book, I'm like, I believe. Oh no, that was in Chamber of Secrets, wasn't it?
What?
Was it in Chamber of Secrets?
What?
Dobby was introduced.
Yeah.
Yeah. His CGI wasn't.
Yeah, because the second movie. Yeah, because that's when he introduced the diary. They put the diary.
But Dobby CGI from that first movie to Deathly Hallows is like night and day. Like he looked so real in Deathly Hallows. I was like, he really there. I felt that knife. Like I was like, that boy really got stabbed like that. Like he wasn't.
Yeah, man. They ain't had to kill my homie.
Man, rest in peace, man. Rest in peace. I love that they put he allows Dobby a free elf on his tombstone. I was like, don't I'm talking about. He was free. I ain't want no slave. Right. He deserved his reparations, bro.
So, before you say something, I'm gonna make this easy, because you're gonna have to edit this. I'm finna go to sleep.
I was about to finish up anyway.
Okay, because I was literally putting a pause in there so that you ain't have to do no jump cut. I'm finna go to sleep. I gotta be like, it's
Yeah, I know. It's midnight there with y'all. So
12. Yeah, man.
Yeah, no. I was wrapping it up. So once again, this has been another episode. I did another one last week, but I'm trying to keep these going. Recap and relax. Sometimes we talk about everything. Y'all got a taste of Harry Potter, basketball, and just Fantastic Beasts life. I don't know. we're gonna put like 5 different titles in here. But at the end of the day, I'm just glad we got to do that. We'll probably do another one when these two go see Fast Furious 9. We'll probably do another recap and just talk about that one and just talk about how everything is going. To me, it was a mid. So if you want, it was a mid. So 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. So
it got 60% on Rotten Tomatoes, so I believe it's 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10, 7 out of 10 is really where it's at. But I'm gonna let y'all see and let y'all judge it, and then we'll come back and talk about it again. Don't know when y'all going to see it, Mike. I think you're going to see it Tuesday. Sherrod, whenever you get a chance to go see it.
I plan on going Friday.
Okay, and I'm off Sunday, so maybe we'll come back again next Sunday and go ahead and talk about it again. But I want to thank my brothers for coming on, and we talked about Harry Potter. I'm glad we was able to binge watch it, talk about it more. I don't know how long it's gonna stay on HBO Max, so I might go back and watch a couple of them again just to.
I think it's on there. I don't think it's a limited time. That's part of the catalog.
You said what?
I think
it's not a limited time. That's part of the catalog.
No, I'm saying I think it's only on there for June. Yeah, because they did it stupid to where they didn't sold they leased the rights. Already had those planned, which is stupid because I'm pretty sure they didn't get them to jump this month just from Harry Potter being on there. Mm-hmm. But they probably had some licensing deals. That's why I didn't have it before.
It was on Peacock at first. It was on Peacock.
Well, I'm saying,
but that's why I was thinking that it was going to be on there because of the fact I think similar to like with Netflix, like with Disney, Netflix, and everything else.
No, certain things they already had another deal. I think so. It's like until this next deal is up, I think it's gonna be gone again after this month. I think it's only on there for June.
Well, I hadn't heard anything about a deal. I just been seeing the advertisement. Normally when you go on there on HBO Max, because I got since I'm the one with the account, I get the emails. It'll tell me like The Conjuring. It's like watch it for the last time. Like it'll tell you that it hadn't said anything about Harry Potter.
So when July,
so that's why I think it's on there.
When July rolls around, we're gonna see if it's still on there or not.
I hope it's still on there because, like I said, one of my favorite series.
But yeah, I mean, we probably go back and watch some of those again. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in, watching. This probably be broken up into 2 parts. I'll probably do that instead of dropping an hour 50, 2 hour video. Probably break it up to 2 parts. But I want to thank everybody. You're gonna catch us again next week. We're doing probably the Fast and Furious 9 just to see that. And we're going to probably talk about that series as a whole as well from the first one to now, where it has gone, because it's on movie 10, 9. It say Fast 9, but I think it's 10.
Well, if you count Hobbs and Shaw, it's 10. But
okay. But yeah.
And the Fast Furious is 9. Yeah.
And we're going to talk about that too, Hobbs and Shaw. But I want to thank everybody. I want to thank Smooth. I want to thank Sherrod coming on. As you can see, Smooth got his pictures in the background. If you follow him at MD White on Facebook, MD White on Facebook, MD White on Instagram, you'll see all his portraits. You got DJ Cold Flow down there. You find him. He in Atlanta. If you need something, go ahead and do what you got to do. He in Memphis. He ship. He do all of that. So, hey, it is what it is. We just make money when we can. All right. So I'll see y'all again next week, and thank you guys for coming on and watching Recap and Relax. Peace out. Appreciate you.
Appreciate
it. You feel me?